What would it be like to pull your kids out of school, wave goodbye to the daily grind, and take the family on the adventure of a lifetime?
Yeah! You might have a load of money in the bank, you might have a nice car parked outside, an house that's paid for, but you've got no stories. What's that about?
We're following 6 ordinary British families daring to live their dreams, taking their children to some of the furthest flung parts of the globe.
Look at these girls carrying guns, isn't it scary?
When in places so remote we can't reach them, they'll film their exploits themselves.
There's a lot of movement up there.
Put the camera down!
But the quest to expose all the family to once-in-a-lifetime experiences
You have such importance in the world.
will take them to places no one wants to go.
We've given ourselves tropical fish poisoning. Stupid, so stupid.
This could be the end of the whole thing.
This time, Rosanna and AJ Pendoria are packing their 3 young kids into the back of a 4x4 and taking the back roads across the length of Africa.
Watch out, guys, here we go.
A journey that will take them through some of the most remote places on Earth.
And very, very few people will actually see something as wonderful as this.
But an adult's dream
Wow, this is so different.
can be a child's nightmare.
It's loud, it stinks.
It's just a bit boring.
What do you want, Dash? I want to go home. Stop it!
And when nightmares become reality,
We're in bandit country, North Kenya, and this is quite a dangerous area.
how much do you take
Today I've had enough of being in Africa.
This is so stressful.
before you give up and go home?
I don't know what we're going to do now.
For the last 8 years, Rosanna and her husband AJ have lived the expat lifestyle in Hong Kong, where AJ has been teaching at an international school.
It's such a lovely place. People are so friendly, will do anything for you. Where else in the world would we be able to just go out on a yacht?
But now they're uprooting their family and driving the length of Africa before moving back to the UK for good.
A lot of my friends can't really understand why I want to go back. I just like Britain. I want the kids to grow up British. I want them to have some sense of roots and culture and who they are.
They've packed up everything, sold their house, and will soon be leaving Hong Kong.
We still don't really want to go to England much.
For 10-year-old Eden, 7-year-old Portia, and their 13-year-old brother Asher, the move means saying goodbye to the only place they've ever called home.
I'm scared about making new friends in England. Because I have a friend here and he says he doesn't like it in England because there's lots of people that bully him. And I spent more of my life in Hong Kong. I liked it here and I like everything about here, yeah.
If we flew back to UK, I'd be looking for a job. Children would be going into school. And I don't think we're ready. So this gap year will allow us just to slowly move into that next phase of life.
Gosh, even from here to here takes 3 days solid driving.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes 3 days, 10 hours a day.
10 hours driving a day.
Before the kids came along, Rosanna and AJ were intrepid travellers. Now, 15 years on, they're taking the whole family on a road trip across Africa. Starting at the southern tip, they'll head completely off the beaten track in pursuit of the sites few people manage to reach. Zigzagging across the African wilderness, they'll cover thousands of miles on unmade roads. From Kenya, the journey becomes more dangerous as they enter the war-torn region around Sudan before, hopefully, making it to the other end of the continent and Cairo.
The whole route is going to take us approximately 10 months.
And then we're going to be totally fed up with travelling.
And you'll be wanting to go back to school.
We'll be desperate to go back to school.
In Hong Kong?
Yeah!
There's a massive part of the world which is nowhere near as comfortable as ours. And I want our children to appreciate how other people live.
It's August, and today the Pindorias must say goodbye to Hong Kong and fly to South Africa.
Come on, let's go. Bye, house. I love you, house. You've been a fantastic house. You are my best house.
Guys, everybody wave. We're definitely going to miss this place, but it's just the right time to move into another adventure.
Bye, Nance. Where's my Nance? Bye, Nance.
12 hours later, the family are in Cape Town, the starting point of their year-long adventure. But before they can begin, they need to get the 4x4 they bought ready for the rigours of the journey.
We've been coming here for the last 2 weeks, every single day. And I've been working on this thing kind of from morning till evening.
The cash for this trip's been saved over years by putting away 10% of AJ's earnings each month. So to keep costs down, he's been working on the car himself.
Well, it's paramount. We're going to be going out in the middle of nowhere. We have to make sure the vehicle is 100%. It's going to be our house and home for the next year, really.
This 15-year-old Land Cruiser needs a lot of work, but it's still set them back £13,000, almost half their 30 grand budget.
In the morning before you started, you check your water over there.
Okay.
And you check your little bowl over there.
Right. This one here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think it's incredible what you're doing. There's not many people that's gonna do it in your whole life. Africa is not for the faint-hearted.
Oh, you're scaring me now, Otto.
After 8 weeks in Cape Town, it's October, and Rosanna and AJ are finally ready to get their trip underway.
Well done, Portia. You're the only one who's ready to go.
I like the sound of that.
Cairo is the other end of Africa, over 5,000 miles to the north, and they're relying on a GPS navigation system to get them there. But 1 hour in, it's not getting them very far.
We'd like to get on our journey. But we don't know where we're going. GPS is taking us somewhere we don't really want to go, I don't think. We're right smack bang in the middle of Cape Town Central
We're not
Business
supposed to be
District.
here. It's okay, this is Africa.
This is Africa, this is how it happens, this is what happens.
It takes 2 hours to find the right road out of Cape Town. A delay that means they don't arrive at their first campsite until nightfall.
First night we've ever done camping, first night we're ever going to open this up and it's pitch black, and this is what we wanted to avoid.
Asha, can you put some shoes on? No. Why not?
Okay, pull the ladder. I think somehow the ladder is going to be doing all the things. The supporting.
Is it?
Come down now.
The family's budget is just £42 a day for food, fuel, and everything else, which means that hotels aren't even an option.
It all seems to work. It's all solid. Supports my weight. It's going to support everybody's weight. It's a small tent, but it's plenty big enough for us.
I think your coat's in the car.
But with just 2 tents, for teenage Asher, it means 12 months without privacy, bunking up with his brother and sister.
We're going to get in lots of fights and get angry at each other all the time. And well, I don't think I could survive with my family for this long.
First port of call on Rosanna and AJ's mammoth journey from Cape Town to Cairo is Fish River Canyon, a stunning but remote natural wonder 4 days drive away on dirt tracks. Whilst alone on the road, the family are filming their journey themselves.
Asha, how's it going today?
It's really boring. We've sat in the car since 9 o'clock.
Eden, how's it going? Eden, how's it going?
It's going good. There's no apart from it boring. Can I attack? Ow!
Eden. Guys, stop it.
3 days in, and the long days of driving aren't just taking their toll on the kids.
Temperature. No idea what it does normally. Oh my gosh, look, it's really moving drastically.
Hold on, push it. No, it's right.
I think we should stop.
On the back roads of Africa, garages are few and far between, so AJ must become an emergency mechanic.
I need to figure out why it's overheating. We were going 120 kilometers an hour, so we were going fast, but this car should cope with it. We're going to let it cool down and just take it easy for a little while. We're trying so desperately get to our next campsite. The children are bored, they've had it.
In the middle of nowhere and still 3 days' drive from the canyon, all they can do is wait until the engine's cool enough to carry on.
Stop it! We're walking together.
Okay, we said it's people like that. Yes, he's going to.
Guys, just stop it.
After another early start and hours on the road, the Pindorias have reached the Namibian border, where their journey off the beaten track really begins.
First country, we're in Namibia.
It was places like Fish River Canyon that Rosanna and AJ came to Africa to see. But getting here has cost thousands of pounds, taken months of planning, and meant many long, hard days in the car.
Absolutely amazing, isn't it? This is
It's supposed to be the second biggest canyon in the world after the Grand Canyon.
incredible, absolutely incredible. It makes you feel it's all worth it. I mean, very, very few people will actually see something as wonderful as this.
The Namibian landscape's awesome. It's a little bit like moonscape almost, because I'm just so unused to it. There's hardly any vegetation anywhere. I don't know how anything survives.
It doesn't.
The canyons exceeded Rosanna and AJ's expectations, but when you're 7, 11 and 13, the spectacular view is only of limited interest.
It's just a bit boring looking at it. Seeing the Grand Canyon or the canyon doesn't really make up for 50 years in a car.
After the canyon, it's on towards the next natural wonder on Rosanna and AJ's list, the Sossusvlei sand dunes. And for the kids, that means another 2 days trapped in the car.
Are you enjoying it?
No.
What aren't you enjoying?
There's nothing much to do.
So this isn't a very good expedition for you?
No.
What are you finding difficult?
Being with my family.
Why?
Because I need some time away from them. And sometimes with my friends, but I haven't got any friends here. So, yeah.
What can Mum and Dad do to help you enjoy this a little bit more?
Buy me a plane ticket.
Where would you like to plane ticket to?
Hong Kong.
After the long drive across Namibia, Rosanna and AJ have got the kids on the road at 5 a.m. to try and make it to the sand dunes for dawn. Getting there means negotiating miles of unlit, unmarked dirt track.
Guys, put your seatbelts on. 1, 2, 3.
Just before first light, disaster strikes.
Shaky. I think just trying to keep warm because I could kind of feel shocks wanting to set in. I think it will do, but could not believe that we all just crawled out. Can't believe it. I can't believe we just crawled out. That's what I can't believe. It's just amazing. That's the amazing thing. I just think that a smaller car, well, I'm sure, I don't know, I reckon we'd have lost our lives. I just feel like crying now, but not initially. It was just more a case of just keeping the kids calm. Poor Portia over there. She got really shaken.
It was early in the morning. We wanted to get to one of the mountain dunes. We're going quite fast. The GPS said it was a straight road. We did see the arrows. But by that time, it was too late. We lost control.
With the unmarked track hard to make out in the low light, AJ had taken his eyes off the road and was driving by looking at the screen on the sat-nav.
My dad was looking at the GPS the whole time, and it didn't show the big curve in the road, and he was going quite fast, and we just swerved from one side of the road to the other side of the road to the other side. My mum told us that it was okay, and we're just going to gain control soon, and well, we never did, and I just remember blacking out and everything.
We're all okay. We're unlucky of the car crash. We're lucky that no one died.
I keep thinking I'm going to wake up, open my eyes and thinking, oh, that could have happened. So I can't really believe it's happened to us.
With no emergency services to call, the family were left stranded at the roadside until they managed to flag down staff from a local safari lodge.
Can't believe I did it.
I've seen it myself. What have I done to my head?
Nothing.
I can feel it's pretty caked with mud.
Yeah, that's blood, Mum, not mud. You're going to have a long shower.
I do feel angry about it. I know I wouldn't have done it because I wouldn't have been driving so fast because I'd prefer to feel in control when I'm on the road.
Sadly, we've only got third-party insurance, so I didn't claim it on the insurance.
After just a week on the road, the Pendorias have come frighteningly close to a tragedy. And with the nearest hospital over 5 hours' drive away, they're taken to the safari lodge to rest up, recover, and consider their next move.
I am feeling awful, and in one sense I'm pleased I was driving, because had Rosanna been driving, I would have... I would have felt she would have had done something wrong to do something, but it was me who did something wrong, so it's my kind of responsibility.
I love you, Mummy. I can't believe we crashed the car.
I'm sorry.
I still can't believe it. I've got it stuck in my memory.
That what?
You know like when you have a song in your head and you can't get it out, you just keep on like humming it, or even if you don't like the song. Well, that's what happened to the car.
AJ's still reeling from the shock of the crash, and though his family escaped with their lives, having come so close to disaster is a lot to come to terms with.
I thought I had it in control, I was controlling it. I thought I had it, I thought it was going to stop. I really did. He was slowing down, he was fine.
It's just so silly.
Just 7 days into their year-long journey across Africa, the Pindorias have had a near-fatal car accident.
All that hard work on the car is now kind of gone. And we've crashed already. And we've still got about, the rest of our 10 months to go. So I'd like to carry on with our journey.
You might get your chance to get a plane ticket back.
I don't want one anymore.
Well, I thought that you'd had enough of this trip and you didn't want to do it.
I didn't think it'd end this way.
They've recovered the uninsured car, but it's a write-off. And Rosanna and AJ now have to decide whether their dream of driving the length of Africa is over.
We got out of the vehicle alive. Everything else can be replaced.
In a few years' time, it'll kind of be levelled out. It'll be part of the tapestry, part of the picture. I mean, we've got through it. Thank goodness. The two boys particularly are as cheerful as can be, and that's really...
Funny things are more cheerful now.
The funny thing is they are.
You're dead now, Asher.
They're more buoyant now than I've seen them. It's like a real bit of real life action. And Asher this is the first time Asher said, I can't wait to tell my friends in Hong Kong what's happened.
The kids might be keen to carry on, but so soon after the accident, it's a difficult decision to make.
I think most people regret the things they don't do in their lives rather than the things they do. Obviously, I regret rolling the car, but I don't regret coming this far. And if it needs to go back to UK, that's fine. But if we can source another vehicle quickly, then we'd like to carry on if we can. And we won't have regrets.
A week after the crash, the Pindorias travelled to Namibia's capital city, Windhoek, and brought a new Land Cruiser.
This is a new car. Quite a lot of the gear is taken off the old one. The snorkel, the roof rack, the roof tents. All the wheels are from the old car. The suspension is taken off the old car.
AJ stripped every possible part off the wrecked car to cut costs, but they've still had to fork out 12 grand they hadn't bargained for.
Financially, it's costing us a heck of a lot more money than we've got, really. But I don't give it easily.
Carrying on has meant raiding cash from the sale of their house in Hong Kong. Every pound spent now means less money to help them settle back into the UK.
I wasn't sure that we would be doing this, but we're off. Finally. Again. We're going.
We didn't imagine we'd be on the road so quick, if we're at all. So I'm hoping we're not going to repeat the crash part of the adventure.
From Cape Town, the family had only made it 800 miles on the back roads of Africa before they crashed. They head back south from Windhoek to pick up their journey where it nearly ended for good, en route to the Soosesvlei sand dunes. This time, they've got within easy striking distance of the dunes the day before, and the boys spend the afternoon preparing for tomorrow morning's visit.
Eden, can you explain to me what you've been doing?
We've been making sandboards so we can go down sand dunes.
Show me.
At 6 a.m. the next day, 4 weeks later than planned, they get their first glimpse of Soosesvlei.
It is absolutely spectacular. There's a mist and a haze over the crest of the dunes, and it makes it look really eerie.
I'm going down really, really fast. But the problem is walking back up.
It's the shared experiences which you will look back on. Now it feels like we're on the route. We're doing things.
This has been fabulous. It's been absolutely fabulous. It's been so beautiful. I'm so glad I came here.
After 2 days' respite, Rosanna and AJ get the kids back in the car and get back on schedule. Over the next 2.5 weeks, the family drive all the way across Namibia and into neighbouring Botswana, where open deserts gives way to thicker bush. This area is practically uninhabited, save for a few isolated communities of herdsmen living hundreds of miles from civilization.
Watch out, guys. Here we go.
Don't want to slow down.
It's these people's way of life Rosanna and AJ want to observe.
Looks like dead trees and thorns to me. And sand.
But getting there means negotiating the roughest terrain they've been on since the crash.
AJ, seriously, are you confident enough for this, right?
Yes. I'm not.
No, I mean, it's 20 kilometres, a long way to go.
They haven't told the kids, but they're planning to turn up uninvited at one of the remote bush settlements and spend the night. It's early evening when they make their unexpected appearance at a tiny village.
We're gonna stay here tonight with the village folk, which will be great. Where would you like to go?
Anywhere kind of flat, but I don't mind really. I just want to cause the least.
Oh no, well, we're
disruption.
in that area over there. I'm thinking we don't want just gonna come in and just be separate to them, but we don't want to impose and take over either.
I didn't tell Asher that this is what we were going to do because I think might not have been too keen if we had said, you know, we're going up to some random village and we're going to ask if we can stay the night. This is my children. This one and this one. And another one. Three. My husband, AJ.
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 AJ. AJ. What is your name?
My name is Nguka.
Angunda.
Nguka. This wasn't really what I was expecting. It was completely different to us. Woke up the car and everyone's just looking at you like, what are these guys doing here? Why are they here?
What do you think, Asher?
I just think it's really awkward being here. We have so much and they have so little. Like we're doing this trip and they're stationed on sand.
It is a very valid point of view that we have obviously got so much. And actually, should we be here at all? As said by my 13-year-old. Portia, let's go get these chairs off. I'll just put them here.
Despite Asher's misgivings, they're miles from a town and have no choice but to settle in for the night, whether they're welcome or not.
We're doing a lot of weird things that I'd rather not do. It's kind of strange just barging in there with our shiny new cars. They're sitting on mats on the floor. And we pull out our big throne-like chairs. We eat off tables and we have knives and forks. They're just eating with their hand and everything. So I don't think it's that fair for them.
After just one night in the village, Rosanna and AJ decide to move on.
We tried to play football with the local children. Sadly, it didn't happen. They were too shy. You could see they wanted to join in, but it was just overwhelming. So we'll have to think of another plan.
Having struggled to engage with people in the village, Rosanna and AJ take a different tack and press on to Uganda, where they have a pre-arranged volunteering placement set up. Having driven over 5,000 miles since leaving Cape Town, they arrive in the Ugandan capital, Kampala.
We're going to a place called Jordan House. I don't know what to expect, I really don't know. All I've been told is in the middle of a shanty town. So, yes, excited on one level, apprehensive on another level, thinking what we're getting ourselves into.
They'll be working at an orphanage in a township where the adult population has been devastated by AIDS.
Oh no, it's making me cry. Look at all this. Oh my goodness. Hello. Hello. Hello, how are you? What's your name?
My name is Martha.
Hi, I'm Rosanna.
Rosanna.
Pleased to meet you. Hello. What's your name? Ben.
My name's
Benny.
Yeah.
Called Beth. Cool name, cool smile.
Nice to see you.
How are you?
Jordan House cares for 80 orphans and provides food and education to a further 200 vulnerable children.
Hello. Thank you for allowing me to come into your school.
AJ puts his teaching skills to use and gives science lessons to local children.
Translate everything in Uganda.
In Uganda?
Yes. Electric energy from the cell is making this go round. But what else do you need for something to go round? And you got to have something else. Go. A motor, good.
For Asher, Eden and Portia, it's a very welcome break from the car and the chance at last to spend time with kids their own age again.
I'm enjoying it more now because we've got friends here also, and before I was missing my friends, but now I've got loads of friends.
For the children, I think sometimes they find the long distances a challenge. But when we've stopped, then mix with other kids and have fun with the other kids, I think that's when it really, really brings it all alive. When I say up, you go like this. Everybody put their hands up.
The family spent 3 weeks working with the children at the orphanage.
Where we make people really, really happy, yeah. It's just a good feeling that you've done something for someone else. But the irritating thing is when you have to leave people behind. Like, when you see someone and you really like them and you wish you could stay with them for a bit longer, yeah, and you have to move on for some reason.
By the end of April, their time at Jordan House is nearly up.
Where are we going?
We're going soon, sweetie.
Do I have to come?
Why?
I don't really want to.
You actually want to stay here?
Yeah.
Right at the beginning, we were asking ourselves, what do you want the kids to get out of this trip? And, you know, kids will go through difficult situations and hopefully come out stronger. My dad used to do wild things with us, like he used to drop us off in the middle of nowhere with an ordnance survey map and a compass. And we'd have to walk 5 miles back to a particular point where my parents would be in a pub having lunch. He was quite out of the box, actually. Fancy dropping your kids off in the middle of nowhere?
The time has come to leave Uganda and head on to Kenya.
Goodbye, children. See you later.
After the open space of the school, it's back to the confines of the car.
Goodbye, guys. Goodbye.
The next stage of their journey is the most dangerous. As they get closer to the border of Ethiopia and Sudan, it becomes increasingly lawless. Random attacks against foreigners are commonplace, and the family were advised not to travel in this area. But Rosanna and AJ decide to continue, and alone on the road, they film their own journey again.
Back in Marsbit, 4 hours drive ago, this morning, we took a wrong turning. You have to realise there's only been about one turning. wrong turning that we could have taken, and we took it.
What worries me is this is bandit country. People have told us we can't travel through this area unless we had a convoy or armed guards.
The family's wrong turn has put them on a road towards the Elemi Triangle, an area of disputed territory between Kenya and Sudan, where attacks by armed militia are a constant threat.
Here we are in the middle of nowhere. I don't think we've seen any traffic for the last 5 hours.
4 hours drive from the Ethiopian border, the tow bar breaks, leaving the trailer containing their food and water stuck in the middle of the road.
This is quite a dangerous area. A year ago, people were using armed guards to get through.
Unable to move on, they're completely exposed and vulnerable to attack.
I don't really want to get caught with any bandits, so I really want to get out of this place. I've had enough now.
With their vehicle immobilized by a broken tow bar, the Pindorias are trapped in a lawless area near the Sudanese border, where attacks by armed militia are a very real threat.
One of the nuts has sheared off from there, and it's held on by one nut. Every day I think, what else can go wrong? Sadly, we might have to stay another night in the bush, and I'm not really looking forward to it.
Many days' drive from safety, their only option is to try and repair the threads on the bolt.
Well, you have to... Oh, you have to leave that completely.
It takes 3 long, dangerous hours, but luckily they're left undisturbed and manage to get back on the move.
Today I've had enough of things going wrong. Today I've had enough of being in Africa and travelling. It just seems endless.
2 days later, the family have made it across the border into Ethiopia.
Look at these girls carrying guns, it's scary.
It's another arduous day's drive to Termi in the Oma Valley, home to people of the semi-nomadic Hama tribe and the first safe stopping point in Ethiopia.
What do you think, Portia? Wow, this is so different.
After a nerve-wracking journey in the hot car, the whole family are at breaking point.
I think it's loud, it stinks, and it's boring. I think I should be in England or Hong Kong or somewhere where it's really nice. Somewhere where we know what's going to happen. Well, we got school every day, and this would probably be a shopping mall in England, and I think I'll be just happy there. I think I'm missing the routine of normal life.
After 9 months on the road, 13-year-old Asha has had enough of Africa.
What do you want, Ash?
I want to go home. I'm going to walk. See you at home.
Wait. Ash, you can't walk home. You can walk to the car. No, what are you going to do for lunch?
Okay, the children have had enough, so we're going to go and get something to eat.
It's hard. It's hard.
That guy's so racist against himself.
What am I doing?
I don't know if I'm going to carry on. It's always been an assault on the senses, but this is more. I don't really want to get home and say, "Wow, that was amazing." I want to say it now, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm getting to that place.
The family have found a quiet campsite and stopped to think things over. It's no longer just the kids who are questioning if it's all worth it. And, to add to their problems, AJ's been struggling to get the car to start.
Well, the car is a right pain in the backside, that going wrong all the time. And AJ can't relax, and that's just sad. It's hard work. I'm sure there were easier options.
It's my responsibility as a father to get the car going, just to make sure everybody's safe. And if we're going to get stuck in somewhere and I feel like I'm failing,
Hold on.
Mine.
Hold on.
No, Dad always leaves something there.
I think we get more stressed than we thought we were going to get, in a sense, and we're handling things less better. And I'm kind of thinking, you know, for what I thought was a functional family, at times we've been a lot more dysfunctional. Straight after the car accident, actually, I was really, 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 really unsure, and that's probably the worst. So that's nearly the worst time of our marriage, actually. I actually thought we really weren't doing very well at all. That's okay, because you get through it. Get through it and you see the other side, and we have loads of lovely, good times.
Whether they carry on to Cairo or not, the car urgently needs to be checked out by a proper mechanic. And that means getting it to the capital, Addis Ababa, 2 days' drive away through the Ethiopian wilderness. "200 miles into their journey and 3 hours since they saw another vehicle, the car gives in again.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is so stressful.
We stopped to reverse and the car wouldn't start. So I asked my dad what the plan was and he said, there's no plan anymore. There's no hope.
The few vehicles that come this way rarely stop, and local villagers aren't used to seeing cars, so the family quickly become a source of fascination.
She wants to shake your hand, Portia. She's asking to say hello. Say salam.
Salante.
She doesn't want to, sorry.
For 7-year-old Portia, it's a lot to handle.
Yeah, I'm just not really liking African kids.
It's Ethiopian more, isn't it? There's a lot of the children living around here. We've got two options, either to ignore them or to make friends or to make enemies, basically. So you don't want to make enemies. We might be staying with them tonight anyway. May as well make friends.
Sometimes I don't think I hate Africa like now.
Still, a day and a half's drive from Addis Ababa, the family can only sit and hope that a car comes along.
Now I feel a little bit depressed, really annoyed. Worked very hard to get here. Well, I'm thinking, was this really worth it?
There's always an option even to dump the car and fly home.
Please, could we do that?
Please, I'm serious.
You never know your luck, it might come to that.
Please, can we go?
That would be a shock. I want to go home. Do you want to go back to Britain now?
Yeah. Come on, let's have a vote.
After hours trapped at the roadside in the baking heat, the Pindorias finally get a bit of good luck.
How you doing? I'm AJ.
AJ,
Frederick.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Frederick. What we're going to try to do is jump start it from a different car. I'm so pleased we're out of here. I'm so pleased we're on the move. But this is so irritating. It is just unbelievable. Thanks, guys. Take care. Okay.
I'm praying that this is the last time that the car does this. It's just such an energy drain. It's not only the car which is jolted about and thrown everywhere down you, it's our emotions. You just feel like precious moments have been stolen away.
9 months on the road have taken their toll.
No, I think we've had quite enough of living in a kitchen this big, living in a bedroom this big, living in a living room about this big. The kids have found it a lot harder than I was kind of thinking they would for some reason. I think Africa was much more of a culture shock for them than I anticipated it would be. We were inserting a year transition time from one lifestyle to another lifestyle. And I think from that point of view, yes, it's been totally successful. And we're quite ready to come back to normal, and normal in Britain is just fine. That'll be good. I think it's going to be somewhat of a relief to us. I'm proud of us right now. I think it's an incredible achievement how far we've got. I'd like to know whether we'll call it an amazing experience in a year's time. I think we will. I'm sure we will.
A few days later, the Pandorias decided to cut short their trip to Cairo and headed for Port Sudan to catch a ferry out of Africa.
This is the last part of Africa we'll see for a very long time.
Next time, what happens when a mission to expose your 9-year-old daughter to another world,
What's the matter? What's wrong?
while sharing the simple lives of local families, turns your own life upside down?
Do I really want to go back to the UK, go back to the same house, settle down, have more children? Is that what I really want? Because I thought that was.
If you're planning a gap year with your family, we'd like to hear from you. To find out more, visit channel4.com/familygapyear.
Over on E4 Next, it's Simon who needs a little patience when the rest of the In-Betweeners crash his Take That concert date. Here on 4, Jamie's taking the pee, but it's all in a very good cause. Pity not everyone sees it that way in his American Food Revolution. Next.